Shalom, family. How's everybody today? I hope it's warm where you are, because where we are here in Texas, it resembles Michigan or Illinois or something. For about 8 days, we've just been snowed under and temperatures dropping down to 2 degrees. This hadn't happened here in I don't know when. But I hope everybody's doing well. Family, we're going to talk about the famine of the word today, and its meaning, its past, and its present causes. See, a lot of folk teach, that scripture about the famine of the word in Amos, but they don't quite explain it, that it happened before and it happened now. And family, we have to make the scriptures in the Bible all the way from Genesis to Revelation. We have to relate those scriptures to the present time. The Bible teaches us, that the things that happened before will happen again. And we have a lot of people out here that just teach the Bible as history only, and it causes a lot of people to say, well, that was in the past. It ain't got nothing to do with today. It has everything to do with today. Everything that's written is all pointing to the times that we're living in now. And so, we got to get out of this milquetoast teaching, teaching the people Bible stories, and no significant meaning whatsoever. It's not relating to anything. And, when people come to your assembly or listen to you, they're expecting some meat on their plate. But a lot of these teachers just, it's that milquetoast teaching, like their people is not capable of understanding. Well, they can understand if you just quit quoting scriptures and explain each scripture thoroughly and what it means for today. Sure, they can understand it. And that's not your decision to make, whether somebody is ready to hear that or not. You don't know. Just teach the word. Explain it fully. Relate it to what's going on today. This is what people want to know. Everybody knows Bible stories. I mean, you can get a 6-year-old to tell you about David and Goliath and Noah and the flood and all. They know the story. But they don't know the details. They don't know why. They don't know what the relevance of it today. None of that. You're just up there telling stories. Has no meaning at all. People need to know the times that we're living in today. What is about to happen? We are at war, family, and we need warriors. We don't need somebody standing up holding church. We don't resemble a church whatsoever. And so that's got to stop. And you wonder why people hang with you for maybe a few weeks or a month, and then they leave because they're not getting fed. They're not getting what they're coming there for. You're giving them everything but what they're coming for. So I'm going to start this off by reading Ecclesiastes, and then I'm going to read Ezekiel 33. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9 through 11. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been done already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. See, the whole scripture, the whole book is showing you those are events that happen are pointing you toward this day, showing you the mistakes that our forefathers made, that we don't fall into that trap and make the same mistakes. But yet, we're doing it. A lot of us are falling into that trap, those who refuse to listen. But that's what it's for. It's not for storytelling, just to throw something out there to entertain the people with. They need to know what we're facing now. They understand all the stories. They understand, even those who really don't even believe, they know the Ten Commandments. They know what the law is. They just don't want to keep it. So we don't need to do that, not to brothers and sisters who already believe. They know that. What we need to do is relate the Bible, the whole Bible, to what is going on today. If you are a teacher, you should be able to teach from Genesis all the way to the maps in the back of Revelation and make it apply to today. That's what you should be able to do. And if you're not doing that, or if you're incapable of doing that, you need to sit down. Or if you're someone who's afraid to speak of these things, afraid of some kind of retaliation from the powers that shouldn't be, then you're a coward. Go stick your head in the sand and get out the way, because you are of no use to the body of Mashiach. None whatsoever. You're not even of use to your own family if you're a coward. This is not for cowards. Okay? Ezekiel 33, verse 1 through 9. Again, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, When I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if, when he see the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Verse 6. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people not be warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity or his sin. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way. That wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Verse 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. See, that is a direct warning from the Most High concerning his teachers and prophets, or whatever name you go by. You see the sword coming. You see that we are at war. You see that plots to destroy Israel, the Most High's true people. You see it. But yet you got time to teach stories every week. You know, this is what you do. Every time you open your mouth, it's a story. It has nothing to do with today. And this is what people need to know. They need to know what's coming. That's very important. Stop with this nonsense. You know, people try to figure out for themselves what somebody is ready to hear, how mature somebody is, what they can understand. See, you try to figure that out on your own. This is why you keep coming up with these milquetoast subjects. This is why you keep feeding the flock milk. Family, when a baby is born, he's on milk for a very limited time. What, around 5-6 months? Then you start trying to feed him something solid. See? But we have people who just year in and year out keep their people on milk. They're not growing. Therefore, when they run across somebody else that's giving them what they need, they leave you. And now you're upset. You know, but they want to learn. They want to know. But you're not giving it to them. You know? I mean, even as a teaching elder or whatever, when I go and hear other teachers speak, I expect some meat on my plate. You know, don't come to me with no stories, you know. I want some meat on my plate. So I would never sit up here and keep passing out milk to my people. Never. It's not what we're supposed to do. Even the book of Psalms, let's see what it says. Psalms chapter 8, verse 2. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest steal the enemy and the avenger. See, you can't assume somebody can't understand something. People, even our children, I'm sure most of you have younger children. You know, when they get 6 years old or so, and you tell them, okay, I don't want you going out there playing in the street, and you leave it at that, then that child don't have no understanding of why that was said to him. See? Now he's curious. Well, why can't I go out in the street? It's a big enough area to play in like anywhere else. But see, what you have to do is tell him not to do it and tell him why. Tell him that it's dangerous if you keep doing so. Something evil or harmful will befall you. And that's what we have to do with our people. We don't just get up and quote no scripture and leave it like that and don't explain it. Don't explain the relevance of it. We tell them why. What the scripture means. What it means for today. Because any scripture you read going to be relevant for today. The Bible is not outdated, folks. It is complete. Nothing else will be added to the Bible. John was the last one made an entry into the Bible, so it's finished. But we need to teach what's in it. From Genesis to Revelation, it's all pointing toward this very day we're in now. And that's what you have to show the people when you're teaching from any part of the Bible. Show them the relevance of today. Because it is relevant. You don't make people think that, okay, this was back then. No. No. It's relevant for today. Because some of the same mistakes our forefathers made, we're making them now. And so that has to be brought out in detail. See, don't never assume anything about your people that you're over, that you're teaching. Oh, well, they not mature enough to understand anything other than this. No, that's not for you to decide. You teach the word. The Most High give them the understanding. If they don't get it right, then they will. Your job is to teach it and assist them in understanding the scriptures. When they ask questions, explain it in detail. Don't just be like no Sunday pastor, get up there and quote a bunch of scriptures and nobody have no idea what they mean or their relevance. That's insanity. We are not a Christian church. Okay? Well, let's see. You think people are not mature enough to learn. Let's see how old Mashiach was. Luke chapter 2, verse 41 through 52. I'm going to read them. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days and they returned, the child Mashiach tarried behind in Jerusalem. And Joseph and his mother knew not of it. But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance. They thought he was somewhere, in the caravan, just lagging behind. Verse 45, and when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. 46, and it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. Doctors, probably meaning teachers, and elders. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee, sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is it that you sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? He's saying this at 12 years old. And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them. See, now he was 12 years old, and he was already in the temple. So quit trying to assume what people can understand and what they can't. You won't know. You teach it. And if you're a good enough teacher, you can help them to understand the spots that they don't understand. You're supposed to be able to break that scripture down, that lesson down. You're supposed to be able to break it down so they will understand it. But you don't know if they can understand it or not. You assume they're not ready for something. Just like with our children, family. These young children understand more than what you think they do. Now, I'm sure some of you who have young children know this. The things that you think they can't understand, they understand it almost better than you. So let's get off of this milquetoast teaching. You teaching this to grown folk who are already in the truth. So they don't need you to get up there with no stories. That's one of the problems that's going to cause a famine in the land. It's self-induced, family, just like it was self-induced with our people back then. All you need to do is read the book of Amos. The Most High caused the famine of the word then because they wouldn't listen. And this is what caused northern Israel to go into captivity into Assyria. Just read the book of Amos. All of it. In your studies, just read it. There was a famine then of the word. He wouldn't even speak to the prophets no more to tell them anything. And this is what's going on today, family. If you'll notice, these social media platforms have begun to crack down on teachers. Yeah, they really don't want any of you posting scriptures in the comment section. They're subject to delete your comment. I've seen that begin to happen a lot. So we're self-inducing a famine of the word, and then it's partly the teacher's fault too, because people are not getting taught what they should be. See, just as our forefather, when the Most High see that you're not going to hear him, you're not going to listen to the word, then he'll let the word cease from coming to you. At some point, he's going to shut this whole internet system down, far as people telling the truth, far as people who teach truth. That's coming to an end. But it's a lot of it is our fault too, because if we were listening to the Most High, he'd hold that back a while longer. We just have to start listening, and the teacher's gonna have to start teaching, not getting up there just making up something to talk about. Something that don't have no teeth in it whatsoever. This was the problem, like I say, with northern Israel and Judah too. I'm not going to leave them out of it, because Judah was probably worse than any of them. In fact, let's see here. Let's read Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 5 through 11. It says, "Will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken, and done evil things as thou couldst. And the Most High said unto me in the days of Josiah the king, Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel had done? She has gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there has played the harlot." And he's talking about northern kingdom. Verse 7, "And I said, after she had done all those things, Turn thou unto me. But she returned not. And her treacherous sister, Judah, saw it." See, Judah seen it and ignored it, Verse 8, "And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also." See, "And it came to pass through the likeness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet, for all this, her treacherous sister Judah had not turned unto me with her whole heart, but feignedly, saith the Most High. And the Most High said unto me, The backsliding Israel has justified herself more than treacherous Judah." See, they repented and got it right, after that Assyrian captivity. But Judah, that's why we're here. This is why Judah was spread it to the four corners of the earth. And we are the tribe that Mashiach come through, and we were the most disobedient. Family, see, if you're going to teach the Bible, teach it. Don't leave anything out. People have to know why. And they have to know why the things are going on like they are today. Because of it. Even babies, when they're first born, They have understanding. Believe it or not, they have wisdom. It was given them by the Most High. Case in point, a newborn baby knows or feels that if it's hungry or uncomfortable, all it needs to do is cry, and somebody's going to come and see to it. Somebody's going to come pick it up. Somebody's going to come feed it. Somebody's going to come and change its diapers. See, they know that right from the beginning. Who taught it to them? They just know. They just know. So how can we, as teachers, assume what our people can understand? You can't. Your job is to teach what we supposed to be teaching in season with the things that's going on today. Don't assume nobody can understand it. They're coming to you for wisdom of the signs of the times or what we're going through. All that other stuff you trying to pour on the people just to be up there teaching, it means nothing. You know, that means nothing. Like I say, if you're afraid to teach truth, then stop. Just be like a little ostrich and go bury your head somewhere. But don't think because you bury your head in the sand and because you're not speaking truth against power that you're going to be left alone. They coming at you whether you talk or not. Doesn't matter. At some point, family, we all going to die. At some point. So why not die doing what we're supposed to do? And that's obey the Most High, and those that are teachers, teach his word and warn the people like he said do. You know, that's it. You know, at least die with honor of doing what the Most High said do. Look, to those of us who teach, there is no retirement plan, okay? You're not going to teach for a few years and decide you're going to retire. This is a job you die on your post. You teach as long as breath is in your body. You're not going to retire and get no gold watch, okay, and then sit back and watch the world go by. Watch all this destruction come without warning the people. No. When you commit yourself to teach, you die on your post. Okay? Ain't no retirement plan. Ask the disciples. I'm pretty sure they wish Masha could say, well, okay, y'all teach for about 10 years and then y'all go ahead and retire. You know, we'll give you a gold watch and you can just sit back and watch all the destruction happen to the people. No. No. You teach and warn as long as you got breath in your body. Okay? If you're not willing to do that, then you're not fit to teach. If you're not going to warn the people, you're not fit to teach. Because you disobeying Ezekiel chapter 33 right off the bat. It said when the sword coming, warn the people. The sword is here. Everything that our forefathers went through, we're going through. It's going to be the persecution of us believers. All kind of things happening. We are at war. And you need a warrior to teach what things are taking place. You know, unless he's asleep and he can't see the things happening himself, he's just as blind as you are then. If he don't recognize the sign of the times, if he don't see the sword coming, then he's not even fit to teach. Make no mistake about that. Let's read some scriptures here. Matthew chapter 5 verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. See, you know, if you follow Mashiach, these things are going to come about if you are a teacher or whatever you want to call yourself, prophet or whatever. Moray, what, pastor? You're not better than Mashiach. You know, if they persecuted him, what you think going to happen to you? See, this is why these scriptures are in there. They're relevant for today. We're being persecuted now. You know, everything we teach now, they're trying to make it out of hate speech. You teach, quote the Bible in this hate speech. See? Matthew 23:34. Wherefore, behold, I send you unto the prophets, and wise men, and scribes, and some of them you shall kill and crucify, and some of them you shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city. It's not an easy job. And only the men of Judah who has the fortitude to be able to withstand that should be up here teaching. Because if you're weak and afraid, then you need to sit down. That's just all to it. Your mouth needs to be shut. Nehemiah chapter 9 verse 26. Nevertheless, they were disobedient and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, and slew thy prophets, which testified against them to turn them to thee. And they wrought great provocations. See, you have to teach the word, you have to teach the truth, you have to teach what's going on now. Everybody may not hear you, but please don't take that assumption that they can't understand. If you are a good teacher, they will understand because you're going to explain the scriptures to them, not just get up there and quote a scripture. That's what they do in Sunday church. Rattle off a bunch of scriptures and explain none of them. Explain none of them. Don't explain the relevance of the scriptures for today. Like I say, the scriptures are not outdated. They're just as active and alive as they were the day the Most High spoke them or gave them to his prophets. His word is every bit as alive as the day he spoke them. So it's not outdated. Okay? Nehemiah 9 verse 30. Yet many years did thou forbear them, and testified against them by the spirit of thy prophets. Yet would they not give ear. Therefore gavest thou them into the hand of the people of the lands. See? But then how are our people going to know what's come upon them if we're not telling them? If we're not speaking of the sword that's upon the land? If we're not telling them that our faith and belief has to be in the Father, not man. See, those who trust on man for solutions that he don't have and he don't wish to have either. As far as that go, you got your trust in man. Oh, if I go and get jabbed, then I'll be okay and everything will return back to normal. No, it ain't. It's going to get worse. And you are going to get sicker. Okay? Let's be clear about that. Put your faith in the Most High. When he gets ready to take you, he will. And you or me or anybody else doesn't know which way that you will lead. Okay? And how. And when. That is reserved with the Most High, not man. Okay? So don't be going around here living in fear, listening to all this stuff that comes over the media, putting people in fear, making them go out and do things that they should not do. Okay? Instead of trusting in the Most High. I'm going to trust in family until the day I quit breathing. And that's just all to it. You know, forget all this other stuff. You know, what man is saying. 2 Chronicles chapter 30 verse 10. So the post passed from the city to city through the country of Ephraim and Manasseh, even unto Zebulun. But they laughed them to scorn and mocked them. That word post means runners, you know, like messengers. You know, the people scorned them and laughed at them. See, this is why the famine of the word is coming up on us now. Because people don't want to listen. And then we got the teachers that's not even teaching. You know, you better teach them that so the blood won't be on your hands. You better teach them about the sword that's upon us. Because if they die in their sins, because all you can do is think about cute little stories to tell them, instead of telling them about the sword that's on us now, then their blood is on your hand, Reverend, Pastor, Moray, Elder. That blood is on your hands. Because you failed to do what the Most High has told us to do. Second Chronicles chapter 36 verse 16. But they mocked the messengers of Yah and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Most High rose against his people till there was no remedy. And that's coming, family. That's coming. You know, this word is from one way or the other is going to disappear. It's going to be a famine, and it's pretty much self-induced. I know the Most High allows this famine to happen, but it's self-induced. We're bringing it on ourselves because of our disobedience to teach what he say teach, and our disobedience in not following the teachings. So we bringing that famine on ourselves. After a while, you'll want to hear the word and can't. All right? Daniel chapter 9 verse 6. Neither have we hearkened unto the servants, the prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. See, it says it over and over again. See, this explains why there's was a famine in the word then and now. Proverbs 29 and 1 says, he that being often reproved hardens his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. You know, when people just keep hardening their heart, not listening to the word and don't want to hear it, then they'll be destroyed suddenly. You know, we got brothers and sisters falling every day behind not trusting in the Most High and trusting in man medicine. You know what I'm speaking of, all right? And he's going to let you do it too. Most High is going to allow you to do that because you got your trust in the wrong place instead of trusting him. You think you can preserve your life by listening to man. You can't preserve 1 millisecond of it by listening to man. All right? Get that out your head. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 5, and I'm going to read verses 12 through 13. They have belied the Most High and said, it is not he neither shall evil come upon us. Neither shall we see sword nor famine. See, this is what they little attitude was. Their mindset was. They felt like they wasn't going to see no sword or famine. And the prophets shall become wind, and the wind is not in them. Thus shall it be done unto them. See, they had prophets not teaching what they supposed to teach. See, thinking wasn't no famine or sword coming. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3 and 4. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itchy ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. And that goes for our people and pastors as well. Because most pastors done turned their ears to fables. And not teaching sound doctrine. So they in that group too. They not exempt. Isaiah 30, chapter 10, verse 13. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceit. Now these people would rather hear the prophets lie and speak smooth things, like they do in church. They only tell you the good things, the blessings and all this. See, they want to hear smooth stuff. They don't want to hear about what's going to come and what we are going through now. And this is just the beginning, family. This is finna get real. Okay? Verse 11 say, get you out the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. In other words, get on, man. We don't want to hear that, Don't speak what the Most High is saying, Cause him to just go ahead and leave from us. Verse 12, wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word, and trust in oppression and perversiveness, and stay thereon, therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. See, this is what happens when you keep rejecting the Most High's instruction. And like I say, it goes for everybody, teachers including. You are disregarding his instructions of Ezekiel 33. You're not warning the people of what's upon us this very day and the days ahead. Quit treating people like they're infants. They're there to learn. And most, when they feel like they're not learning, they'll leave and find somewhere where they can learn. Because if all you're going to do is teach Bible stories, they can stay at home and read them themselves. They don't need you for that. They need you to explain the prophecies in the Bible and how they are being fulfilled even as we speak. Stop with that nonsense, that milquetoast teaching. Just to make yourself look good. Stop with it. Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 12 through 14. Then shall the cities of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of streets of Jerusalem have you set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. See, this is what we got to teach the people. See, what is going to happen in these days if we refuse to obey? If we refuse to seek the Most High's help and trust in Him to bring us through this. Man can't bring you through it. It's just the opposite. Man would just assume you die. Okay? Make no mistake about that. They are Satan's children. Preserving your life has never been in his interest. All right? Getting you to disobey the Most High is his number one priority. And when you are separated from Most High, what is that? Separation from the Most High is death, both spiritually and physically. So we need to stop this kind of teaching. I'm just saying, it's just a warning to all of us. You know, the message, you know, in the book of Amos, is just warning us, you know, that it's going to be a famine. And that famine is going to be caused by both the teachers and the body of believers. That's what's going to bring this on. And it's bringing it on now because people just constantly rejecting what the Most High say, not putting their trust in the Most High, and putting their trust in man, as we've always done. Man can do this, man can do that. Man can't do nothing that the Most High don't allow him to do. You keep forgetting who's in control. I believe he's in control about every little thing I see. Now, you can call that overkill if you want to. But we've had about 7 days of very good snow here and very cold temperatures in Texas. But guess what? I attribute that to the Most High. Because during this week and all this cold weather, that all these testing sites for that pestilence have been shut down. See, nobody's getting to go. And therefore, I believe the Most High allowed this to happen where we are, to give these people a moment of pause, to rethink what you're thinking about going and doing. That will certainly bring destruction to you. If not immediately, a few months down the road. Okay? So yeah, when I see things like this, see, I'm always, my mind is always focused on the Most High and His will and how He does things that we don't even pay attention to. We don't even think of it that way. Oh, well, the weather's just bad. I believe it's a purpose. I believe He's trying to give our people a moment of pause to unthink what they're thinking about doing. Okay? Never leave the Most High out of anything. He has to be included in all aspects of your life at all times. You give the Most High credit for everything He does. Don't overlook nothing. Not even the smallest thing that you may not see as nothing. Oh, well, that's just normal snow. Okay. Who controlled it? What places got shut down during this weather? To give you a moment to regain your senses. All right? And pastors and teachers, we gotta do it. We gotta do it at all costs. Now, family, there are channels out here that they going hard at it. You know, they're teaching about these end times and these things that's upon us and all the evils that are being targeted toward Israel. It's a few, but then there are some. They're no better than Christian pastors. Some of them are worse. You know, they resemble those kind of people in a lot of ways. You know, they want to get up here and teach smooth things, you know, things that tickle your ear. And it's not about that. You know, we have to teach the cold, hard facts and truth at all times. We have to be in season, family, with teaching. We have to keep the people informed. This is what our job is. This is what the Most High says, not me. He said it. When there's a watchman, he's there to watch when the sword comes upon us. And he's supposed to warn us. He's not supposed to entertain us with some cute little stories. You know, most every believer and non-believer, as far as that goes, know about the stories in the Bible. Well, I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find one that didn't. You can go and ask the average 6-year-old about Noah and the ark and David and Goliath. They can tell you. They may not fully understand what it means and what the relevance is, but they sure know the story. So we don't need stories. We need good, sound teaching straight from the scriptures and apply those scriptures to today. Every last one of them. From Genesis to Revelation, you can apply them to today. Because everything that is written is leading up to this time, family. Until it's all over. Until Mashiach cracks the sky open and come. It's all relevant, okay? All right, family. I really hope we got something out of this. And I hope these milquetoast teachers are listening. You know, I'm not here to make friends with you, pastors. I'm just here to tell you what the Most High said about what your role is. And, you know, you can be upset if you want to. Be upset with the Most High. Because I didn't write it. I did not write Ezekiel 33. Okay? So take it up with him. All right? And let me know how that worked out for you. All right, family. Until next time, Most High willing, I'm going to say shalom.